First of all, I'd like to thank anyone who has taken time out of their day to tune into another recording of the B Triple T podcast. The sole purpose of this podcast is to deliver any insight or help towards certain topics and situations. I hope that by the end of this podcast, that me and my panel of guests have been able to give you a clear opinion and understanding of where we come from in terms of said topic. So without further ado, I welcome you to the B Triple T podcast. B Triple T stands for Back to the Topic. So our panelists of guests today are Dexter, far left, Abrine, and Kaylyn. And I'm your host and mediator, Seth. So today's topics, we're going to discuss 3 topics. So the first one would be, would you say that social media is a good or bad thing for relationships? The second one is who gets the most blame in a bad relationship experience? And the third one is, can you blame a man or woman for only wanting to date outside his or her race if they get rejected constantly within their own race? So first topic, saying that social media is a good or bad thing for relationships. Me personally speaking, dealing with relationships in the past, I feel like it's a 50-50 thing because social relationships online, they can like make or break you in terms of your relationship. Like at one point it's nice to like show off your significant other and let other people know that you're in a relationship too, but at the same time like temptation and all that stuff comes into play too. So me personally dealing with it, I haven't had any issues with it personally because I'm pretty conservative, so I don't really like kind of put like my relationships on social media. So I know it's like a short thing because most people, they like post like Woman Crush Wednesday or Man Crush Monday and stuff, and then next thing you know, like they're texting somebody else or doing other stuff. So it's just like I feel like it's kind of like a 50-50 thing in terms of that, but I would say, yeah, it kind of is a bad thing because most relationships don't work out that way in terms of social media. So if y'all have anything to put towards it.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, I had a relationship before, and like, I wouldn't say my business was on like social media or whatever, but like, we were kind of like a couple that our friends kind of looked up to. And then that became a bad thing because when we broke up, everybody was like, oh my God, what happened? Like, and then everybody getting your business. And then next thing you know, like shots are fired on social media. And then I know myself, I can't bite my tongue. If somebody comes for me, I'm gonna come back. So then I end up looking stupid in the end for responding. But now I just keep my business to myself. Nobody knows who I talk to, and shoot, life couldn't be better.
Yeah, because it's like some things you can kind of prevent it from happening, and other stuff it just happens like when you least expect it. So like when things like that come into play, it's just like tough to deal with, but at the same time it's kind of like brought upon itself like once it enters your life in terms of socially. So like relationships and everything is just like tough to deal with, especially like in the social world, because everybody's going to try to give their opinions on what your relationship should be or who you should be dating and why you should be dating that person or you shouldn't be dating that person. And it's just a lot that goes into play about it. So anybody else?
Well, I guess since we're going in a line, since you don't want to say nothing.
I mean, this is open conversation, right. So like anybody who's willing to talk.
I mean, yeah. I don't really post significant others on social media. Only did that one time. Then the person was like completely unknown. So it wasn't really a problem. But you know, back in the day I was cutting up, so it ended up being a problem.
Well, do you feel like it has to be like a sure thing between that other person before you post them on social media?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna post you on social media and all we doing is talking like regular, like go more.
So it has to be like past the talking stage in terms of like,
be like in there.
Before they, yeah.
I ain't posting you till like we in there for sure, like.
But you know, sometimes people still post who they're talking to as like women crush or man crush.
I mean, they can do that, but like if you get that text or that DM or something like that, and you talking talking to my person, and then, oh well, I mess everything up.
Yeah.
You probably start feeling some type of way, and
Well, I feel like when other people like get involved with like your relationship socially, it turns into like
it's always end up bad.
you kind of jump to conclusion a little bit, cause like when that type of thing happens and you're like, oh, they're talking to my person that I'm supposed to be talking to, and then it turns into like something that blows out of proportion. But at the same time, it can be handled like in a calm manner. But it just depends on that person they're talking to. But I feel like you have to be on good terms with the person you're talking to make sure like, oh, are you talking to anybody else or?
But people lie.
I mean, yeah, people lie, but at the same time, you can kind of tell when people are lying and when people aren't. So, because most people get caught in their lies. So.
Don't look at me.
Can you tell when people are lying? A little bit. Oh, okay.
And I feel like even you don't even have to lie. Like if you tell the truth, it's gonna be much easier. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be easier to deal with because like everybody, it's so much easier to tell the truth in the world. And then I know it's hurtful, but that's just how it has to be. So, do you have any like Dexter? Do you have any like relationship experience towards that, or like any insight?
You out here being a floozy?
No, not at all.
You being a floozy.
Next question, man. Next question.
Well, no. So like, is that like? Would you say it's a good or bad thing?
I mean, it can be a good and a bad thing because, you know, people get in their feelings when you ain't posting them. They feel like you're trying to hide them. You know, I ain't trying to hide you. I ain't trying to hide the world from you. All that other stuff Drake was saying. You know what he said. Anyways.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, bro.
But, it could be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. But just know if you're going to post your significant other or whatever on social media, just be ready to...
Accept the consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll jump into the next one. The second topic is who gets the most blame in a bad relationship experience. Me personally speaking on behalf of my past experiences, it's only been like a few. It's not been a lot, but I personally feel like it's kind of like you don't know what you have until it's gone type thing. So it can be between either the man or the woman. But me personally speaking, I would have to say probably the dude.
Yeah.
Cause the dude has the most mistakes in the relationship. Cause you know sometimes the woman is right. Well, most of the time the woman is right. But at the same time, I feel like the man is kind of learning, and while he's in that relationship. But I feel like 9 times out of 10, a bad relationship experience happens.
So you're saying that
Men, yeah.
start.
Well, no, the relationship, it may start out good, but then further down the line, the man might do something to mess up the whole like flow of the relationship, and then it turns into like something that's out of proportion, and then the woman is just like, fuck this, and just like doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. And it's just like a lot.
Well, what if it was like the female?
I mean, it could be the female at times too, but not. Have you ever heard a girl say, "Damn, I lost a good man. I messed up."
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. So.
See, all right, like way back in the day, me and my ex or whatever, we broke up. It was his fault, and then I didn't realize what I did till about 2 years later. So I just told him like, hey, I was just thinking about it. You know, I had a little fault too. I just want to apologize for it. And he was like, yeah, he said it. He was like, 2 years later, I was like, would you rather me not say it at all? Or, I mean, I'm trying to give you some clarity here.
I mean, I kind of went through the same thing because like when I broke up with my ex, it was kind of like a matter of like checking up on her, like to see how she was.
I wasn't checking
No.
up on
Well, no, like in terms of like me noticing that later on down the line when you reach that breakup point and then you realize like, dang, I could have did this better, or I could have did that better. It's just like a lot goes into that from a man's perspective, not from like a woman's perspective.
I was just saying, I was like, hey, I just want to let you know my little 2 problems in the relationship, and I apologize for that. You have a good life. I'm gonna be praying for you and the family.
Yeah, that's kind of
You
basically
gotta
what I
get right.
do, too.
When you get right with God, that's how you know you moving forward.
It's easy.
I'm gonna take you to church. You need.
I've been to church.
What church you go to?
Word of faith.
I don't know what that's at.
But anybody else want to speak on it? Like talk about passion?
Just eyes on me.
I mean,
I would say the men get the blame.
That's
And because us women, we're stubborn, and I feel like it do take us a long time to, realize what we did and admit, like, hey, we wrong. But me personally, I know for a fact, like, I'm very mature, and like I'm very cognitive about the things I do, the things I say. So like, as far as my breakups have gone, it was for sure the man's fault. Like, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
I'm just saying.
no, like you're entitled to what you
Nah,
say.
you are.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes like males we put in everything. Some don't. But the good ones who do put in everything, we still hear that we're with a problem. It just don't make sense.
Everything like what?
Everything like what?
Like whatever y'all
Like time and energy and like consistency and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I mean, you can put in all the work and still not pass the test. So I mean, it's like a for sure, like it's not a for sure guaranteed thing. Like who gets the most blame in bad relationship experience? Because number one, if you're in a relationship, you don't want to break up. That's like the last thing you want to do if it's a good one. Because you're not gonna go into a relationship not wanting to be in that relationship. You're in that relationship for a reason. So basically, it's like, hey, I would say mostly men, because like men just do a lot, and we mess up a lot. At the same time, women can mess up too, but I feel like men do it more than women do, and it's kind of like a learning block that we have to get past in terms of that. So like when you're in your past relationships, when you get to your current relationship, you can take all your stuff from the past relationships and just see what you can do in that current relationship to make everything better. So it's just like people come in your life for like two reasons: a lesson or a blessing. So that's either way it goes. So you can't really control what happens. You just gotta like ride it out. See where it takes you. Any more insight on it? Or that's pretty much it.
You done apologize to the person. You done.
Do you feel like? Let me ask you this: Do you feel like any like relationships you dealt with, like it was your fault?
If you say no, I'm gonna box you in your throat.
He can look. Let him talk. Do you feel like it was your fault?
He gonna say no.
Be honest now.
I'm thinking, man. Shut up. Let's say probably 1 or 2. Things that I've done. Probably got distracted. Somebody else came about, and you're more attracted to the other person that came. You wouldn't focus on that person.
Do you feel like you can? Like that 1 or 2 you messed up in, you can take away what you messed up in.
Oh yeah.
And learn from your next relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like simple things, or was it like things
simple.
was like it was simple?
Just simple stuff. I don't get into big, mistakes and shit like that.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna jump into the third one. So the last one is can you blame a man or woman for only wanting to date outside his or her race if they get rejected constantly within their own race? What I mean by this is if we're all black.
Okay.
So if we're constantly getting rejected by like black people, like if I'm trying to talk to black girls and they're not trying to talk to me, and I just say, F it, I'm gonna just go to white girls and I'm gonna just stick with white girls.
That's all right.
Do you feel like that's like, can you blame them for doing that?
Nope.
Can you blame me for doing that?
No.
Nope.
Because most people like they're for interracial relationships, but at the same time they be like, oh, why is he with her? Or like, why can't he be with a black girl and all that stuff? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I've seen a lot of interracial relationships, and the brother be getting. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes he'll get a good white girl or an ugly white girl, but that's how it be sometimes. And then when the white dude get a black girl, he get the baddest black girl ever. Like that's how it be. So Like, no, I can't blame anybody for trying to do that, because like if you keep getting rejected, like there's no other place to resort to but that. So, or other ethnicities too.
Right.
You look like you was ready to say something too.
Nah, you pretty much said most of it, because some people be like, whoa, why is he dating her? Why he just not dating his sisters? Them woke black people would be like, oh, he shouldn't be doing that. But
man, most of that when you deal with anything, when you deal with anything like interracial type thing, you'll see like the true colors of people. Like, especially like if you do it like, and you bring like, say you have a white significant other, and you bring it home to your family, how are your family gonna react?
Oh, that.
How was you?
No.
See, now if I do it.
No, that was funny. I was talking to this little Hispanic dude.
Oh.
That thing was so funny. They was like, my folks was like, hey, you know how to make tacos and burritos and stuff like that? That was funny. That was funny.
Wait, their parents asked you that?
No, my folks asked me that, and I was like, that's not nice. But
I mean, you could find humor in like
yeah, but if they was like serious, then you gotta be like, whoa. But my folks, they joke about everything. But that was funny.
I mean, me, if I were to bring any race outside of black, if I was dating any race outside of black, and I bring them to my house, I feel like it wouldn't be a problem, because they can see past what her pigment is and see her for who she is, and like get to know her for who she is. So, I mean, at first they'll be like, whoa, but at the same time they'll get used to it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it work out, it work out. So that's just how it be sometimes. Anybody else?
I just think whoever you decide to be with, they just need to like match your spirit and your vibe and all this other stuff.
Yeah, because most relationships these days, I feel like it's not really relationships these days, because everybody's looking for like a hookup. Sometimes they look for a hookup, and then it don't like. When the last time y'all went on a date?
Me?
Like everybody, when the last time you went on a date?
Like
a real date.
Like a real
date.
No, like not too long ago.
Yeah.
Probably like last week.
Oh, how'd you say it went?
It was alright.
Mine went great. I know that. I
I
said everything up. So
what'd you do?
It's a place downtown, like a little jazz bar. Got soul food and everything. I like music, so I took someone down there. And we ate there. I paid for the food. Took a little walk around Ellis Square. Gave him flowers. Took him home.
Oh, you're so
nice shit.
sweet.
That's another like topic I was gonna get into. It's probably for like another thing,
like dates,
like paying on the first date.
Oh, you talking about right now.
I mean, I don't have a problem with paying for a date. Like, as long as like you got it, I got it. You got it, I got it. I'm a giver, so like if you ain't got it, I'll give it to you.
But what if
What if they do it intentionally?
Right.
Like you ain't got it on purpose?
No, like they have money, but they just play it broke.
Right.
Like play broke.
Oh, I ain't got it. Can you pay for it?
Like that one time we went to Carrie Hilliard's.
You gonna bring that?
And no, look, the one time we went to Carrie Hilliard's, and like I paid for. She was like, you pay our tip. So I was like, I gotta pay and tip, because she forgot her card or something. So when the waitress came and brought the check, I pulled my card out and I gave it to her. Mm-hmm. So she got her phone, took the phone cover off. It was a 20 in her back, and she tried to play it, bro. But no, she ended up tipping the waitress and everything, so it was cool though. But like some people do be playing it broke just to see what people would do.
You don't want to see like.
Or they just don't got it like that.
If you would be like, hey, I honestly ain't got it. I'd be like, oh, that's fine, I understand. And then you'd be like, well, what we gonna eat? Cause we broke. I'd be like, nah, I'm just playing. I got a little something.
Me personally, I'm like, it depends on how well I know you. Like, that's one thing. Cause like,
you can't really
like money these days, like people are really stingy with money. So I would say, cause it takes a lot to like earn money. Cause like, especially if you get paid bi-weekly checks and all that stuff, working the hours and everything, you know it. But yeah, like I gotta know you like well enough to pay for you. And it depends where we go.
I mean, not really, because sometimes, like, when you with a group of people, and, like, you might know, like, a quarter of the people, not the whole group, and somebody be like, hey, I ain't got it. I'll be like, you know what? It's fine, I got you. And they'll be like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, I got you. And they'll be like, no, it's okay. So I'll call the waitress over and be like, hey, you get them what they need.
I mean, me personally, I've ended up paying for like dates in the past, and, like paying for them, cause like at the time I had like a money come and money go mentality. So like I felt like whatever money I spent, I'm gonna get it back in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like if you spend money on that person and then it just doesn't end up working out, you just like, damn, I wasted money and time and everything. So like,
But you can't think like that though.
Right.
well, it just depends on like past situations, like, cause like
I wasted a lot of money on people who I'm not even talking to no more, and you know it was my decision at the end of the day to pay for that stuff. So that's my L I gotta take.
I mean, yeah, that's just one thing about me. It's just like if I pay for somebody and it doesn't work out, I end up like regretting it later on, cause it's like, it's not even money wise. Like money don't even come into play when I think about it. It's just like the time I tried to like put into make things work and it just didn't work out, maybe on my end or her end, and I just end up feeling bad about it when it's all said and done. So
yeah, but no.
We all got
But like, hey, just know that if I'm paying, be prepared to either eat Waffle House or like something spiffy.
You sound like him right now.
Look, this is my idea. Look, my idea of a first date is just to like have fun and to get to know that person.
Yeah.
So like if I wanna have fun, but at the same time get to know that person, I'm gonna take her like bowling or something, or we could like watch. Like I got an iPad now, so we could like watch a movie in my car and eat Chick-fil-A or something, and it's like nighttime by the beach or something.
Yeah.
Just like getting to know that person.
It's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying like, what if the person is serious and they want to go somewhere serious?
Or they want to go like,
serious, like where?
Like thing I just named up.
Oh, the jazz and all
or
that
Ruby
stuff.
Tuesdays, places.
I mean, those places vary because like it just depends on what they want to do. Because like you'll ask a girl like where you want to go, she's like it's up to you.
Right.
And like you be like, because most of the time she want to see what you're gonna do and like where we're gonna go and all this stuff.
Like don't be like like what you want to do? I don't know. It's whatever you want to do. But you're the one who asked me out.
I mean, sometimes it's like to get a feel of where y'all want to go though, because like
that's what I mean. Some people like to be
because I've been on like common, like I wouldn't even call it dates, but just like the common type date, like going to the movies or like going out to eat. Like it's not really, and then aside from that, it's not really much to do here in Savannah. So
it's really not.
Are you gonna walk?
I just say just throw out 3 ideas, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna at least say, yeah, let's do one of this or all of this.
I had like the park thing. I like the park, but at the same time, I had a bad experience at the park, so I don't really like.
If you can just talk to her.
So I set up a whole picnic in the park.
Okay, that's it.
And I set up a whole picnic in the park.
Hold on, was this the first day for the picnic?
No, it wasn't the first day. It was something that like they were going back to college, so like I wanted to like hang out with them and all that stuff. So like so I ended up setting up the whole picnic. I waited an hour till she got there.
Yeah, that was bad.
So yeah, and then I didn't even set it up the whole thing like. And then she got there, we ate for like 30 minutes, and then we just went to like near the playground, swing on swings and everything like that. But I just felt like at the same time it was a special thing on my part, but at the same time I was like, damn, I had to wait all that time and all that stuff. So like different dates, it just depends. Like especially if you make a person wait, you just like it really shows like who they are as a person. So that's
but I'm a late person, but then again I speed, so therefore.
No, this is what I do. Like if I know a person's gonna be late, I tell them to come minutes ahead before the arrival time.
That you said? What the time that you said?
Like if you're supposed to be somewhere at 12 o'clock, if I want you to be somewhere at 12 o'clock, I'm gonna tell you to be there at 11:30. So that way you get there at 12 o'clock. That's my.
You broke that rule.
That's just my theory.
I was like on the way, like I was here.
He kept saying 5 minutes. She beat you in.
They got here at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
You trying to point me out? I was speeding. I was doing 80 and a 65. Yeah.
But aside from everything else, that's pretty much all we got to talk about. So, anybody that's
just one more question somewhere. Think about it.
What?
You ain't got one more question.
I mean, I could pull one.
So we got
just, all right.
So like,
I'm trying to keep it in mind for her because she has a little work. So
okay.
She got a question.
Let me see. Okay. Like you said earlier, people they don't really be dating like that.
Yeah.
So like, what's wrong with just having a floozy?
I mean, you don't want to be look.
I'm not gonna call people hoes. That's
In terms of that, like
Jezebels.
terms of
I'm
that.
not talking about no Jezebel now. You.
It's not the '60s, nigga. Like, but in terms of like being labeled, you don't want to be labeled as that. Because if people find out, it's gonna be bad.
I mean, well, don't tell nobody you got a floozy.
No, because most people like when before they try to talk to somebody, they find out about you.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
before you talk to anybody, just be like, hey, where like.
So
Don't be like one of them. What are we type people? Just be like.
So you just want to be like cut straight to the point.
Anything. No, I'm gonna be straight to the point. I'm gonna be like, hey, before just go into anywhere like you're trying to make something happen or you're trying to be a floozy.
What if it's both?
You trying to go somewhere and be a floozy? You trying to start off as a floozy and then go somewhere?
Like it can be both sometimes.
Nah,
because if you start off as a floozy, I'm gonna treat you like a floozy.
No, like it ends up being like a FWB type thing, and then it turns into more than you expected it to be.
You gotta play a role. You can't. Yeah.
But some people get feelings.
You can't help it if they catch feelings.
I mean, if you catch feelings, then you just
if the feelings are mutual,
then
then
sit down and talk about it. Like, hey.
That's like that post I see on Instagram that's like, I don't want a relationship right now. I just want someone to kick it with and all that stuff. If it turns into more, then lucky me. But like, I mean, I feel like you don't necessarily. You can be straightforward, but at the same time, it's a rare way to start off a relationship with somebody. So
that's a crazy way to start off a relationship. Because if you start off as a floozy and you end up in a relationship, then how you know that another floozy ain't gonna come around? And you don't even know.
What if you're the one?
What if you're the floozy?
No, like what if you end up being like long term?
Well, good job. Like, but you can't get mad at a floozy though.
Well, I mean, like you can kind of tell who.
You can tell who's a floozy and who's not a floozy.
Yeah, based on. No. Look, you can know. Look, people will literally like before they try to like hang out with you and stuff. They will literally like do like their own little back research on you to see like who you dealt with or like what you've done and all that stuff in terms of like being in a relationship with. Well, I'm not saying they're gonna do like catfish, like detective type work on your ass. But they're gonna do like they're gonna do something to get to know you before they get to know you.
Us guys don't do that much.
Yeah, guys don't really do that much. We just want.
Me personally, I would just dig and ask questions. Like I'm gonna just be sickening. I'm gonna get my answers. I'm not gonna go crazy about it and go stalk.
Because you don't put money into something and you don't know what you're buying yet. You kind of just want to see like, for real. You kind of want to see like what you're getting into. Because like I don't deal with like strangers and stuff like that Tinder shit or anything like that. I don't do that random
That's how
stuff.
people get kidnapped.
No, look. First of all, I barely. You don't get kidnapped.
You can get kidnapped from Tinder.
I've never heard of somebody getting kidnapped.
I've never.
I've heard people get kidnapped. I've seen like random posts of people get kidnapped, but like I've never heard of somebody saying.
You're get kidnapped taking an Uber and on Tinder.
Rob, never heard kidnapped. Rape and rob.
You never know.
And then I don't even like what you call it, dating apps or sites. I don't use that because like there's nothing there, and they don't respond to you. Like you have to get their number if you want to respond to them or their Instagram or their Snapchat.
I'm scared of everything.
I tried Tinder before. I was so bored. Plus, like I had a friend. She told me this is bad. She told me she got like people to take on some like dates that she didn't even have to pick for. I was like, okay, I'm all down for it. Might as well get a free date. Everybody want to play with me, so that's what my mindset was. I was over.
What do you want to say? Go ahead, bro.
This way continues with a cycle. You know how girls say niggas ain't shit. You know, that mentality got to stop, bro. This generation is fucked up. I ain't gonna front. But with you, with the Falusi situation, that's how all that starts. You don't tell that person that, like, you don't tell them, oh, I just want to fuck, and you know, can we just stay like that? But no.
No, I mean basically no, like this.
They
like
make interactions to make it.
Well,
seem
no,
like
like if they want that to happen, and then they end up,
say it.
and then no, and then ends up, and
then
if they want that to happen.
Well, some people, you know, they kind of like want to preserve their feelings.
You can't answer that question.
Look, you can't fault them for if they want that to happen, but if they end up like saying like, oh, you ain't nothing in the end and like all that stuff, that's on them because they crazy. So
yeah, people want to hurt your feelings. Like, what if you and that person
like those are type of people. Those are type of people like that you do some stuff with, and then if it don't work out, they'll end up hitting you back up and be like, hey, how you doing? It's been a while. I ain't talked to you in a while. All that stuff.
Hey, big kid.
Exactly, and those are the same people that will. I hate, like, I don't mind when people ask for favors from me, but like it just depends on how good we are, like on a relationship standpoint, like friends and such. Okay. So like, but you can't fault them for like wanting to do that, and then they say like you trash and you ain't nothing and all that stuff. They just crazy. They just doing mind games with you.
But at the end of the day, you gotta forgive everybody. You gotta let it go.
True.
I'll be forgiving everybody. So if
I mean,
you,
you don't have to.
I forgave everybody.
You don't have to forgive. No, I don't.
Huh?
This one.
Which one?
I can.
Who's that? Oh, the letter. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, we just talked the other day. We're friends now.
I'm gonna have to
we're best friends now. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. Yeah, I don't.
Thank you.
It's only one person that I don't. Like, I'm not gonna forgive.
No, you gotta get over that.
No, I can't. No, it's not because it wasn't my fault.
I mean, it might not be your fault, but you still gotta be like, hey, whatever happened. Like,
no,
like
I'm
if I keep dwelling on it, it's gonna weigh on me.
If that person,
you're forgiven.
that sad person said something to me that I wouldn't say made me mad, but it made me feel a type of way to where the point is if whatever they wanted, they can have that, but I'm not gonna be a part of that because that's negative, and I don't deal with negativity. So, unless they want to talk to me, they can. But if not, then I'm keeping the same energy I kept when they made that decision. So, I'm not forgiving everybody, but I can forgive most people. So, it's just only one person I don't forgive. So.
I forgive everybody. Everybody's being forgiven.
But
it makes yourself happy when you do that.
Yeah, when you forgive everybody, it's like a breath of fresh air.
I mean, I'm happy regardless, but like at the same time, that could have been handled differently. But it's not my fault. Yeah, everybody knows it's not my fault.
But then if that person comes, like, let's say the person just come in the room, I bet your whole mood would change.
Right.
If they walk in the room,
right?
No.
Yes, it would.
Yes, it would.
Same energy.
No.
Ain't no same energy.
energy.
It's gonna be a
the same
whole
energy. No. If they walk in the room right now, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna get my stuff and walk out.
No, you're
not.
Why would you do that if this is your podcast?
Bro,
this is your energy. This is your place. Why would you move from it?
Look, because I'm not gonna be in a place.
You control yourself, bro.
I understand that.
I
mean, they can leave too if they wanted to. They can walk out and leave too. But I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna look at them.
What you looking at them for? You right. Them in the seat or something like?
Because what they did, I would say is it's not easy to fix, but it's unforgivable to me at this point until it gets fixed. So.
Hey, whoever you are that did this to stuff.
Both of y'all know who it is.
Hey, this man gonna eventually forgive you. Just like.
Bruh.
Come talk to him real quick.
Yeah.
No.
Call this man.
Until then, I'm not gonna.
Don't
look. As far as I'm concerned, I wish them their family the best. Mm-hmm. I wish them the best. Mm-hmm. I don't know where they are or where they're at or what they're doing.
They're probably at school.
May be the case, but as far as I know, I can't deal with everybody's lives. So I just wish them the best and just leave it at that. That's all you can do as a person.
Look at the camera right there. And let them know.
I wish you the best, and that's all I can say at this point until anything else.
Stop making us do this.
So on that note, we're gonna end the podcast. Anybody that was listening, we appreciate you taking the time to listen to the B Triple T podcast, and I will see you guys again for the next episode.
Chick-fil-A, where's it?
How you gonna say that in the middle of the?
He gonna edit this.
Are you gonna edit?
Yeah.
It really doesn't need editing.
I thought we was on live.
Y'all look, I want it so bad.
It would be nice.
You should have.
I'm gonna do the next one. I'm gonna do the next one. I got a lot to say.
Okay.
She do.
I have a
Well,
lot.
you want to hear the other topics I have?
What the hell?
I can't see them. Let's open up. Oh,
You want to hear the other topics I have?
yeah. I might have to add some in there.
Is it easier to hate or love? Why?
We could have had that
Hey,
right.
did that.
Right.
Wait, I got a lot to say.
It's easy to hate because you be like, why you want
And
You want to do a separate segment? I know you gotta go to work, but because it's 12:51. Huh?
Y'all free tomorrow?
Oh, I work 3 to 11 tomorrow. So I guess.
I don't know about working that. Let me check.
Like around the same time.
Yeah.
We should do what, Earth?
Let me see.
And I had got some more.
We should actually be here.
I wrote down a lot more topics that I wanted to do.
Because I know we're late.
Do y'all want to talk about this one now?
It don't matter. What's the next?
I ain't camera ready today. I'm sorry. I'm not camera ready today. I'm sorry.
Um,
I gotta work tomorrow.
I already camera ready.
You got work next time.
At 4.
You got time?
We need to clock in like the next 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, I don't want to make you guys late or anything.
Oh, we ain't supposed to do that till 2. I'm just trying to finish the clock.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Look at my grandma.
Who cheats more, men or women?
Women.
Men?
Women.
Men.
Women.
I can say
Women.
this.
I look.
I say this
Look.
one.
Let's get right now.
Hold on, look. I'm about to say women. No, listen. Listen, but sometimes it's
We
men.
can say
bro.
this. I don't want to say
Hey,
nothing.
You
Everybody.
see,
Record
I'm
this,
telling
bro.
myself, but I know you
No, no, no,
Nah,
no,
record
no.
this right now.
We gotta
Record
save-
this right
no, we
now.
gotta
I got 2
save
minutes?
that one.
We can
Alright,
do
cool.
this.
They were my boyfriend, they're not gonna see me. It's all good.
Hey, we represent the men out there, bro.
Just,
Oh wait, hold on.
come
Hey.
on, right shoes.
We gotta-
right scoot over. Scoot.
I gotta go over there.